All right, let's get right into it. Today we're diving into a massive question, one that's on everyone's mind in high finance. Is AI coming for the investment banker's job? It really is the big one, isn't it? Will artificial intelligence just completely wipe out the classic investment banking role? Now, you'd think it's a simple yes or no, but, well, the real answer is a whole lot more interesting than that. So here's the short answer, and I love how our source material puts it. The change isn't going to be some clean sci-fi movie scene where robots march onto Wall Street. No, it's happening for sure, but it's much more subtle, more complex, and honestly, way more profound. So let's dig into that nuance. This isn't really a story about replacement. It's about a total transformation. AI is set to completely rewire the job description, changing what it even means to be a good banker at every single level of the career ladder. And if you take away just one thing, let it be this. AI is a tool that's coming for tasks. It's not coming for the entire species of banker. It's going to automate chunks of the work, absolutely. But the human banker, nope, not going extinct. And look, this isn't some 30-year forecast we can just ignore. The change is already being priced in. According to the World Economic Forum, a whopping 86% of employers are expecting AI to transform their business by 2030. So this isn't coming, it's already happening. To really get why AI can't just swallow this job whole, we have to talk about what the job actually is. Because if banking was just about building spreadsheets and formatting PowerPoint slides, well, this would be a very, very short explainer. The reality is, a banker is basically 5 different people wearing one trench coat. Think about it. They have to be a salesperson, out there winning the work. They have to be a project manager, actually making the deal happen. They're a storyteller, building the valuation and the narrative. They're a professional cat herder, managing all the lawyers, accountants, and execs. And finally, they're a risk manager, the person who knows when to say no. AI can help with all of that, sure. But replace all 5 at once? That is a huge, huge ask. So this brings us to the core tension of this whole thing. We have to split the job into 2 buckets. What the source calls AI horsepower, that's the raw industrial strength processing, and the human glue, which is the stuff that actually holds a deal together. And this chart just lays it out so perfectly. Over on the left, you've got the industrial work, the high volume, repetitive, mechanical stuff that humans are actually kind of error prone on. That's AI's sweet spot. But then look at the right. That's the situational work. We're talking about client psychology, internal politics, the nuances of negotiation, and that gut instinct for timing. That's the human. So let's zoom in on what's in the AI blast zone. And yeah, a lot of the classic junior banker agony lives right here. Drafting the first version of a pitch, building those endless comps tables, summarizing hours of transcripts, and yes, finally ending the 2 a.m. war over getting the logos on a slide to line up perfectly. These are the repetitive, template-driven tasks that AI is just built for. But, and this is the big twist, even when an AI does that first draft, the job doesn't just vanish, it evolves. The human role shifts from being a creator to being a supervisor. You're now the one who has to check the AI's work, correct the parts that are commercially just wrong, and ultimately be the one to stand behind it and defend it. And this is why that human glue is just so irreplaceable, right? An AI can't read the fear and ego in a boardroom. It doesn't have that, I've seen this movie before, wisdom that only comes from scars and experience. And maybe most importantly, when a deal gets rocky, a client needs to look a human being in the eye, someone who is accountable. Okay, so what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, the impact isn't the same for everyone. It changes, and it changes dramatically depending on where you are in your career. For the analysts, the most junior people, AI basically sucks all the air out of the traditional grunt work. Now, this is a real double-edged sword. On one hand, it could mean fewer junior jobs, but for the ones who are hired, the real danger is something called an intuition gap. If you never do the painful, repetitive work, do you ever really build the gut instincts that come from it? Now, for the mid-level bankers, your associates and VPs, their value might actually go up. They become that critical human layer between a client's messy, ambiguous needs and the AI's clean output. Their whole job becomes managing the chaos and being the last line of defense for quality before anything goes out the door. And for the people at the top, the managing directors, the rainmakers, for them, AI is a massive force multiplier. It just widens the gap between the bankers who can generate deals based purely on relationships and trust and those who are really just glorified process supervisors. Okay, so we've seen the new landscape. The big question is, what does it take to win? What are the skills that matter most when all the old grunt work just gets automated away? The new high-value skills are all about judgment, influence, and strategy, not production. We're talking about being able to build a killer client narrative, exercising real commercial wisdom, and seeing patterns in your industry that others miss. And of course, there's a totally new skill on the list: mastering AI supervision, knowing exactly how to prompt it, how to check it, and how to stress test what it spits out. And you can see here what this looks like in the real world. This isn't science fiction. These are tools being built right now. An analyst copilot to make first drafts faster and better. A diligent summarizer to slash reading time. These are tools that make a human banker better at their job, not tools that replace them. So, what's the investment bank of the future going to look like? Well, you can probably expect much leaner deal teams, way faster deal cycles, and more specialized pods of experts. The whole model is going to shift even more toward high-trust, human-to-human advisory work, while the high-volume stuff becomes the domain of AI. And really, it all boils down to this fantastic idea. Think of AI as a power tool. It makes you a lot faster, but it doesn't make you any wiser. The banker who wins in the future won't be the best button pusher. It'll be the one who can take that speed and become a brilliant editor, shaping the AI's raw output with real human judgment and experience. And that really leaves us with one final crucial question to ask yourself. In this new world, what are you really being paid for? Are you paid to just produce content, to make the slides and fill the models? Or are you paid for your judgment? Because one of those things is about to get automated into oblivion, and the other is about to become more valuable than ever.